I found this story where it shouldn't have been, and once you hear it, it doesn't let go.
The staff welcomed us with roses. Then they locked the gates and handed us a card that said, "Tonight you'll be chosen. If you're listening alone tonight, like, share, and subscribe to Bloody Chapter, because some Valentine getaways don't end with photos. They end with missing persons reports, written and told by Mr. D. My story. We'd won the trip through a couple's giveaway that looked harmless, clean website, romantic copy, a private island resort promising candlelit dinners and no distractions. No phones, no social media, just love. The boat ride over was quiet and wet, rain making the ocean look like black glass, and the island appeared in the distance like a dark tooth rising from fog. When we reached the dock, the resort was beautiful in the way expensive things are beautiful: soft lights, clean wood, warm music drifting from somewhere unseen. But even before we stepped onto land, I noticed the fence line behind the palm trees. Too tall for privacy, topped with lights that didn't look decorative. The staff smiled in perfect unison, and one of them took our phones in a velvet-lined box like it was a romantic tradition. "You'll thank us later," she said, and the way she said it made my stomach tighten, like later was planned. They led us through a garden path lined with heart lanterns and rose petals, and everything would be felt dreamy if the air hadn't been full of quiet rules: no wandering after dark, no leaving your cabin without your partner, no going beyond the blue lights on the trail. Then, like it was the sweetest part of check-in, they strapped matching bracelets onto our wrists. Thin metal bands with a tiny heart icon that pulsed faintly. "Couple bracelets," the receptionist said, bright and proud. "They'll track your heart rate for the Valentine compatibility ceremony." I asked why you'd need heart rate for romance, and she laughed like I'd made a cute joke, then leaned in and whispered, "The island likes honest hearts." The first dinner was too perfect. Candlelight, violin music, champagne, and staff that appeared exactly when your glass was half empty. But every time I tried to relax, my eyes kept drifting to the floodlights on the ridge, and the shape of tall poles that didn't belong at a resort. I excused myself to the restroom and took a wrong turn on purpose, just to see. The hallway behind the kitchen had a locked door labeled with nothing: no staff only. No signs, just a keypad and a thin red light above it. And on the wall beside it, long scratches ran through the paint as if something heavy had been dragged there repeatedly. I went back before anyone noticed, because that's what fear does first. It asks you to stay normal. Later, they gathered couples in an open-air lounge where a smiling host announced the compatibility game. Lights dimmed, music softened, and the bracelets began to glow brighter as if they were waking up. A screen behind the host displayed heart symbols connecting and disconnecting like a cute party trick. But then the host said something that didn't fit the tone. "Please stand close. Stay paired. Do not separate once the test begins." A few people laughed, thinking it was part of the fun. I didn't laugh, because the staff didn't laugh either. The bracelets tightened slightly, not painful, just firm enough to remind you they were real. The host asked questions: little romantic prompts, first kiss stories, favorite memories. And each time couples answered, the bracelets pulsed, reading something, logging something. Then the questions shifted. Have you ever left someone without saying goodbye? Have you ever wanted someone to disappear? The room got quieter with each one, and I watched the staff carefully because they weren't watching our faces for entertainment. They were watching for reactions. A storm began outside like it had been waiting for that moment. Wind pushing rain sideways, palm leaves thrashing, and the ocean roaring behind the resort like a crowd. The power flickered once, and when the lights returned, the fence line on the ridge sparked blue for a second, bright enough to see through glass. The host smiled wider, almost relieved. "Perfect," he said softly. "The ceremony will be beautiful tonight." People started whispering nervous jokes, questions about safety. The staff didn't answer. They guided, always guiding, always smiling. Then, right as the storm peaked, the jungle went quiet. Not calm quiet, predator quiet. The kind of silence that makes your skin tighten before your brain knows why. My bracelet pulsed hard, fast matching my heartbeat like it had claimed it. A distant sound rolled through the island, low and deep, too heavy to be thunder. And as everyone stood there pretending it was just weather, the card from check-in slipped from the table, face up, like it wanted me to read it again. "Tonight, you'll be chosen." And beneath that, in smaller print I swear wasn't there before, "Please remain paired for your safety." The storm didn't just knock the lights out. It changed the island's personality. The resort's warm glow vanished, replaced by emergency lighting that made everything look pale and sick. The staff moved faster now, less romantic, more practiced, guiding couples toward the main courtyard as if they'd rehearsed this for years. My bracelet pulsed every few seconds like it was counting me, and when I tried to slide it off, it tightened, biting just enough to remind me it wasn't jewelry. It was a collar pretending to be cute. The host appeared again, calm as ever, and raised his voice over the wind. "Congratulations," he said. "You've made it to the ceremony." Someone shouted, "What ceremony?" And the host smiled. "The choosing," he replied. And behind him, on the ridgeline, the fence sparked blue like lightning crawling across metal, then went quiet. The jungle quiet too. Predator quiet. People backed away, clutching each other, and the staff's smiles thinned into something colder. "Stay paired," one of them said sharply. The host guided us toward an archway decorated with roses and ribbon, and it would have looked romantic if not for the thick steel gates behind it. The kind you use for cages, not resorts. I saw a keypad station blinking red, a control panel labeled with numbers and icons like they didn't want anyone reading what it did. A couple tried to run and a security man shoved them back into the crowd. "You'll make it worse," he hissed, and my stomach dropped because worse meant something was already happening. My bracelet flashed once, two hearts linked, then a check mark, and I understood the compatibility test wasn't for fun. It was sorting us, selecting us. The host's voice softened like a wedding vow. "On Valentine Island," he said, "love is a signal. And tonight, the island will answer." From the dark tree line came a sound that didn't belong to weather. A low bellow that vibrated through the ground like the island had a second heartbeat. People screamed. The staff stepped back from the gates as if giving something room, and the control panel beeped. One long tone. Then the gates began to open, slowly, deliberately, like a stage curtain. "Remain paired," the host said again, and this time it sounded less like advice and more like a survival rule. Something huge moved behind the trees, and the movement wasn't random. It was tracking the bracelets, tracking the pulse. A couple beside me shoved each other apart in panic, hands breaking contact for half a second, and the jungle answered instantly, branches snapping, heavy weight rushing forward, a scream cut short like someone slammed a door on it. The host didn't even flinch. "Separation triggers pursuit," he said, like he was explaining gravity. I grabbed my partner's hand harder, and my bracelet pulsed in approval, warm and fast. The gates opened wider, and in the floodlights I saw it step forward, tall, wet hide glistening, eyes reflecting light like coins. It didn't charge. It searched, head tilting as if listening. Then it locked onto the nearest flashing wrist like it was hearing a song only it could hear. The staff herded us along a narrow path lined with blue marker lights, a funnel, a lane, and that's when it hit me. We weren't guests anymore. We were the ceremony itself, bait arranged neatly so the island could choose efficiently. My bracelet buzzed and displayed a pattern fast, slow, like it was broadcasting a call. A mating signal wearing a heart icon as a mask. We ran through rain and roses and shattered romance toward the dock, boards slick under our feet. The boat rocking like escape was still possible. The engine coughed once, twice, finally caught, and as we pulled away, the resort shrank into fog. But my wrist kept flashing in the dark like a beacon. I tried again, yanking, twisting, digging nails under the metal, but it wouldn't come off. It only tightened, like it loved being needed. I looked back one last time and saw movement along the shore, silhouettes between trees, more than one, and a final spark along the fence line like the island was resetting itself for the next couple. Then I looked down at the bracelet screen and my stomach turned cold. 2 hearts linked, a lock icon, and beneath it, 2 words that felt like a promise. See you next year. And when the boat finally reached open water, the rain got quieter, like the island didn't care anymore, like it already had what it wanted. Thanks for watching. And if you want more stories that haunt the mind long after the sound fades, like, share, and subscribe to Bloody Chapter. Because some places don't hunt people, they hunt love.